So just firstly, if we could reflect on the Catalans game first, and were you pleased with the fight despite the result?
Yeah, certainly. There's a good spirit amongst the group, and we had a rough first half, but they fought hard to keep it, not too bad in the first half, not as bad as it could have been. And then, had a good crack in the second half, and the game was probably in the balance there for a fair portion.
Have you managed to take a lot out of that match going into this week?
I guess that's probably an individual thing for players. There was a lot of younger guys that were asked to do more than on a normal basis, so those guys will take a lot out of it. Some of the more senior players, it's a matter of dusting off and getting ready to go on another short turnaround. But there was plenty of positives in a game where we were, clearly we were the second best team that day though.
Was there any injury concerns following that game?
We've come through that game reasonably well. We'll be back out on the pitch tomorrow, so we'll confirm our 21 after that.
Is there any names of any players that may be returning this week?
Well, Ash Hanley and Aiden Caesar will be back. They didn't miss the game through injury, through other circumstances there, so they'll both be back, and that's possibly about it.
And how much of a boost will it be having Ash and Aiden back?
Oh, for sure. Ash has been a mainstay in the team all year and shown great leadership and performed well as an individual as well. Aiden was just starting to get a bit of form and get a bit of rhythm and flow into his game after a couple of disruptions this season. But he's an experienced guy and he knows how to play, so he'll be ready to jump back in, and he'll be fresh after a bank holiday long weekend.
And just sticking with players returning, what have you made of Tom Briscoe's performances since he returned?
Tom's done well. The Huddersfield game, we weren't quite sure how we were going to use him, and in the end, he was on the field after 6 or 7 minutes and did really well at short notice there. And he played well again in a different position on Monday away after 4 months out. Doesn't matter how experienced you are, it does take a little bit of time to get back to full flight. So I'm expecting that the work he's done in the last couple of matches is going to put him in good stead.
And looking at Castleford on Saturday, what are you expecting from that game and from Castleford?
Oh, it's going to be a massive clash, a derby game, and everything at stake. We're expecting everything they got, and we're going to give everything we've got, and see what happens as the game goes.
For you, Rohan, how much of an achievement will it be to beat Castleford and get in that playoff place?
Yeah, it'll be a good achievement given where the club was at various points earlier in the season. It'd be a great achievement, but it's also, it's what everyone sets out to do every pre-season. Every club's saying they want to be playing at the playoff time. So nothing's changed over the course of the season. There's just been some ups and downs, and we're in a great position now to be in this position to play for a playoff spot.
Just lastly, Rohan, having a game at Headingley, how much of an impact will the home crowd have for you? Oh,
I'm sure there'll be plenty here, and they'll be making plenty of noise, and it's a unique place to watch a game and to be part of a game. There's no place like it, so expecting and planning for plenty of people to be here and make plenty of noise and make it a great occasion.
Just check on Boy Costley. Did he pick up an injury against Huddersfield or something?
Yeah, he did. He picked up a knock actually in the warm up, and he battled through the game, but it pulled up quite stiff, so he wasn't available for selection on Monday.
What sort of a knock was it?
It was I think an internal or external rotator in his hip somewhere.
Right, got you.
Yeah, it's not a common injury, but hopefully the longer our season goes, the more likely he'll be of being back in there.
It must be frustrating for him because he'd just come back from a spell out as well on the sidelines.
Yeah, it just is what it is, he's working hard on his rehab and we'll crack on.
Just on David Foster as well, he missed out with the calf issue. Is he still struggling with that?
Yeah, he won't be available this week.
But beyond that, if your season goes beyond that, do you think he was struggling still?
Probably in doubt for the week after, as well. But we'll see. It's responding quite well. He's feeling quite positive about it. But it won't be ready for this weekend. That's for sure.
Okay, it's do or die rugby now for the rest of the season, however long that may be. Is this why you put in the hard yards in pre-season?
Well, I think even before pre-season starts, it's why you're involved in sport. Like, everyone loves winning, but as a fan or as a participant or an administrator or a coach or any sort of staff member, the reason you play is because it's not predictable and there's always twists and turns, and this is exactly what you get involved in sport for, I believe, to be contesting the big moments. And I think the season has created a lot of twists and turns in most clubs. So it's been a great finish to the year, the regular season, and none better than a do or die game.
Yeah, is there a real belief in the group that you can do something special over these next few weeks?
Well, we're going to focus on this week and do everything we can to give ourselves an opportunity to have a next week. That's where we're at. We do have a good belief every game we've gone into. We believe we can win, and nothing will change there.
And just on Cast, they've got no halfbacks, and Lee Radford's more or less playing down their chances. Are you still expecting a real challenge and an improvement on their performance against Salford?
Well, each game is its own. Last performance doesn't matter at all. Leading into the next one, before we played them at Magic, there was similar chat about people not being available and whatnot, and they played real hard game that day, and that was a good hard game, that one, despite the scoreline. It was much closer than that, I believe. So we're expecting a battle.
Yeah, for your players, is it just ignore the noise coming out of their camp and just focus on your jobs?
Yeah, I'm not too aware of what the noise is myself, and I'd encourage others to stay that way. But of course, people are going to listen to them, or come across media statements and comments and whatnot. But we've all been around the game long enough in sport to know that anything can happen, and it's about controlling what you can and not worrying too much about external factors.
Yeah, and I guess the magnitude of the game rules out any kind of complacency from your side.
Complacency is a disease I'm not familiar with. Every game is huge. We just got to prep hard like we have every week. And obviously there's a little bit more riding on the outcome.
It's the last home game of the season as well. Does that add to the motivation this week?
Well, I don't think motivation's going to be an issue. There's so much to play for, but we certainly want to thank the fans and the support that they've had throughout the ups and downs of the season, and include them and be part of a special day for the club.
Hi, Ronan. Ronan, in terms of where you came from in the last month or so, in terms of that run of victories, would you have bitten your hand off to be in this position going into this do or die game?
Yeah, we've been playing to a point. We've been playing sudden death rugby for weeks or possibly even months. Every game's been a vital one for us, so we're kind of familiar with that approach. There's a bit more at stake, and it's the last chance to play for a playoff spot, so we're excited by that opportunity.
And I suppose the Catalans' defeat, even though after it was coming 6 consecutive victories on the bounce going into that game, you could have clinched a playoff spot. Was there something in that game, a bit of positives as well, that you can take going into Castleford?
Yeah, we played against a team that's been entrenched in the top 4 for 3 or 4 years, I think. They're experienced, and they're playing on their home turf on a short turnaround. So there was a lot of things that made it a tough trip, but they're a quality team. We had a little reminder maybe in some areas of our game that we need to improve on, or to maintain or get back to the standard that they were. But we'd been playing at a solid level. We had a patch of that game where we struggled, but I really liked the spirit and the way that we fought hard to get back into the game. And I thought it was in the balance for a period of time there. But clearly we weren't good enough on that day.
And I suppose in these sort of do or die games, it's moments of magic can really decide them. And with Cruz Liming, you have that player who's capable of special moments. I suppose if Cruz always has delivered for Leeds on the big occasion, I suppose you expect nothing less this weekend.
Oh, we're looking for a team performance and really work hard and apply the principles that we've been, creating an identity this season. So it's not about any one individual, and we're not really looking for the big play or the big moments. We're looking for that consistency of performance through the play for play and process that we're striving to execute.